Travels with Dottie here, and I call this my Mora not because I've ever lived here or are from here, but I've spent 2 summers camping in New Mexico, and for some reason, Mora speaks to me. I long to be around Mora, and it's hard to explain why. So this is going to be my first video, and probably I'll do two or three on Mora, and this one's going to be mostly from the car. But I want to read you from the New Mexico Creative Industry Division, moramainstreet.org. Mora is a traditional agricultural valley surrounded by the picturesque San Cristo Mountains, with the Great Plains stretching to the east. Along a crossroads between ancient indigenous paths and more recently the Santa Fe Trail, it is a short drive from historical sites and world-class amenities of northern New Mexico. Our valley is a green oasis due to a complex network of handcrafted gravity flow irrigation systems. Aqueous, one of the largest remaining in the New World, whose clear waters continue to sustain heirloom farming and ranching. The land and our Norteño way of life illustrate the unique blending of cultures that has been preserved for generations. Mora is culturally intact, authentic. The legacy of the past and the strength of its people shape and enhance our vital sense of independence and identity. Connected to our roots as a reflection of what remains, we see the opportunity to grow our community for enhanced tomorrow, still firmly anchored in our history and values. So we find ourselves on the main drag here in Mora, and my first order of business was I've been staying, half an hour, 40 minutes away in Las Vegas, and there wasn't really a place to receive a Amazon package there. I'd have to go to like Santa Fe. But up here in Mora is an Amazon locker. It's a rare thing way out here, but it's right here. Give me a second. We'll pull in and I will show you exactly where it is. And Allsups is a kind of chain of convenience and gas related to Valero. And there you go, right there. There's the Amazon locker. When you order stuff, it gets delivered. You have 3 days to pick it up, or they're going to send it right back and process a return. But I've got 3 things I'm picking up today. I have Donna and Sally with me as companions, and this is their first time to Mora, and I'm giving them a tour. You're going to see lots of things here on the left. You see uh, the market, and the market is amazing. Only because the vast majority of the products in the market are from local farms, from eggs to beef to vegetables. I really, really like shopping there. Very friendly people. There's also a kitchen back there. They do some cooking, so you can take some um, freshly made Mora, New Mexico meals home with you. There's a laundromat in town, but boy, do you have to be vigilant to find that little laundromat. It is out on the opposite side of the street from the dollar store, and it's on your right. And get the address from Google Maps. And when you're there, you're not going to realize that you're there. It's very small, but it's there and it works. There's a special place coming down right here. This is coming up on the right here, the Cleveland Roller Mill. It's the only flour mill of this size and type that's been restored to operating condition. It's not open right now, but I understand it is open during certain days and hours, and I'm certainly going to find out about that. Um, and it was a big part of Mora County, Mora for a long time. So we got to see the outside of that. And if it really is, if the museum's open, I'm going to be in the area for the next month and I'll find out. And I promise I'll get in there and show you everything about it. I think it's a really cool thing. Uh, the the irrigation systems that were put to use here in Mora and leveraging the water flow from the Mora River are pretty remarkable. I think you notice as I drive through here, it's kind of an overcast, rainy day, it just looks so lush and green. Um, Another video will show you what Mora looks like in the bright blue sunlight. Um, it's quite a bit different, but it's still pretty remarkable here. It's a laid back, beautiful little town. You'll see a plethora of local businesses. Also, you're going to see some abandoned buildings and closed places, but they're more interesting than anything else. Uh, and this is my second year visiting Mora, and I spent quite a bit of time here last year. Met at least one of the business owners, and they are very lovely people here. And much to my surprise, after I published my videos, I got quite a few enthusiastic comments from people either that live in Mora or have a connection to Mora, and they really appreciated being able to see one of their favorite towns on video. Right now I'm staying in outside of Las Vegas, Nevada. It's Story Lake State Park, and it was about a 30-minute drive up here, and a very, as you saw in the beginning of the video, a very picturesque drive. And After next week sometime, I'm moving from Story Lake up to Coyote Creek State Park, which I'll have to drive through Mora to get there because Mora is really kind of equidistant between Story Lake State Park and Coyote Creek State Park. Again, it'll be my second visit to Coyote Creek. Here's a little bit more of the downtown area. I turned around and went back the other way. And I have a special treat in store for my guests, Donna and Sally, and that is a trip outside of town to a restaurant that's not really known much outside of the locals. It's called Teresa's Tamales. And if you're in the area and you want to get there, it's on New Mexico 518, and the address is in 3296. And it's not technically in Mora, it's in Cleveland, New Mexico. It's at near mile marker 33, small place. As you're heading out of town, it's there on the right, and they have very famous tamales. And guess what? When we got there, they were out of tamales, but they have plenty of other things. I had a custom made burrito, and you'll see when you get here. I asked for permission. There's that market again. It's we're passing the local market there. The has all the local ranches and farms contributing. Um, I can't recommend stopping by there enough. It's pretty wonderful. Uh, and I believe it's called Mora's Market, maybe. Um, and it's just a wonderful place. And when you visit, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But back to uh, Teresa's. Just missed breakfast. We were there about 11:15. I've never had one of their breakfast burritos. Huevos ranchos, and then two eggs, papitas, chili, and bacon or sausage. Everything's under $10. So don't worry about finances when you go here. Uh, they have plates like a tamale plate, which I would have had if they weren't on a tamales, chili relleno plate, enchiladas. Um, this place is truly a gem, and this drive gives you an idea of really how far out of town it is, and the places that you're gonna the residences that you're gonna pass. Um, I will warn you that there on this road there are very narrow shoulders, so if you've gone too far and you want to turn around, and there's stretches where there really aren't businesses. So I tend to be very, very careful about turning around on this road and not encroaching in on anyone's property in Mora, even when turning around. I think it's important to be really respectful. So I'll find um, sometimes a real a straightaway where I might even have to make a 3-point turn. But the, if you're on a straightaway and you can see both ways, this is not a frequently traveled road, and you shouldn't have any trouble turning around. Um, if you have a big rig, you may have to go further. And I'll warn you too, if you have an RV, finding a place to park at Teresa's might be not possible. You can look it up. There is a RV park there in Mora that I've heard third hand is pretty nice, but I don't know the name of it off the top of my head, but I'm sure you can easily find it. It's right pretty close to town. A couple other random interesting things about Mora. Two short battles of the Mexican American War were actually fought in Mora back in 1847. Pretty interesting. Uh, Mora's total area is only 8 square miles, so it's pretty small. It's a healthy elevation at 7,172 feet. And total population back in 2020, that's 4 years ago, I guess that's the last census, was 547. Or it does have a library, a small one you can visit. There's a little courthouse. And we are getting very close now to our wonderful meal at Teresa's Tamales. So that if you're a Old West literature fan, uh, the prolific author Louis L'Amour, his 1960 Western novel The Daybreakers is a character in there. Orrin Sackett is the fictional Marshal of Mora. I really hope you're enjoying the scenery here in Mora. I do understand, and again, this is like third hand, that if you were looking to purchase some land to maybe have an RV summer place you can be, I think the price is pretty reasonable in Mora. I believe more than one full-time RVer has taken advantage of this area, and we have arrived. You can bet it's over 7,000 feet. This is pretty pretty cold and snowy in the winter. Get
Taco
tostada,
salad.
taco salad. and chili cheese
chili cheese
fries
fries, and it's cheesy
and
and chili.
burrito. So now we're on our way back. You can see it's still kind of a rainy, blustery day, and we'll be back in camp in about 30 minutes. And so it's a less than a half day trip. If you're staying in the Las Vegas area and you want to visit Mora, we left about 10 o'clock and got up there in time to drive around a little bit. And we did that lunch. And after lunch, I didn't capture it, but I think on Sally Forth's channel, you'll find that we stopped at that market I kept talking about. And out in front of the market, they had a celebration going that's been going on every Saturday for most of the summer with arts and crafts and various foods. So we got to stop there and hang out there for a while. I found myself some unpasteurized honey to buy and uh, all that, and we are heading back now about it's at 12:15, 12:20 if I remember correctly as I'm doing this voiceover. But it was a 3.5 hours, and the whole trip was done, so it's an easy run up to Mora, as is it if you're up in uh, Coyote Creek State Park. So as always, I love it when you watch my videos. I appreciate it, and I'm grateful. And uh, we're gonna finish off this trip here and get back to Story Lake State Park, and hope you come along with me on the next trip.